Good evening. They are everyday items essential for women, but it's estimated that many 14 to 21-year-olds here in Wales can't afford to buy their own sanitary products. One charity says 15% of girls have had to take tampons and pads from friends due to the cost. Well, one council in Wales says girls are even missing school as they're unable to leave home during their periods. It now plans to hand them out for free. Cohen-Ennis has tonight's top story.
These pupils are talking about periods.
Normally you pay about £3 or £4 for these. And if you find the scented ones are really, really expensive. Yeah.
40 girls a week at this school in Maesteg rely on donated sanitary products. Staff say they don't ask why the girls need the products for free, but they're aware that some families are unable to afford them.
Period poverty isn't something that you automatically assume with pupil deprivation or areas of deprivation. You automatically assume that there is a need for food banks, that there is a need to help people, that there's a need for people to have all sorts of services provided for them. But this wasn't one that came to mind, and it's a bit ridiculous really, because it's something that every girl goes through, every girl needs.
Pupils say the products should be accessible to everyone.
Girls, do you know how much a box of these costs? We don't choose to have periods, and they are really expensive to buy. So if you have more than one sibling, it can be really expensive for parents. If we offer some here, then they'll come to school for starters, and then they have stuff what they need, and people will always need to talk about it. Like, you can't really just go throughout your life feeling really embarrassed and disgusted about it.
The average UK woman spends around £18,000 on sanitary products in a lifetime. Tampons and pads cost around £5 a month, but if you're a mum with 2 daughters, this could rise to £15. And for a family struggling to put food on the table, this could be more than they can afford.
The charity Wings Cymru delivers sanitary products to people in need across South Wales. It also helps out in 14 schools in Bridgend.
We have also donated to places like food banks, homeless charities in the area, women's refuges, but our primary focus is schools.
One Welsh council plans to go a step further. Rhondda Cynon Taf could be the first council to provide free sanitary products to girls.
When we met face to face with pupils from 2 of our secondary schools, all those girls told us that they had actually missed school. So this is definitely having an impact on pupils' attendance and performance.
If this plan gets approved by the Cabinet, it will cost £70,000 a year. But councillors say it's a small price to pay, and it could lead to more areas following suit. Cohen-Ennis, ITV News.
Well, joining us from our London studio is Lucy Russell from the children's charity Plan International, which campaigns to make sure every girl in the UK has access to sanitary products. Welcome to Wales at 6, and thanks for taking the time to speak to us. We saw that story, one story there of one council. Across Wales, how widespread is this problem? Because it's a problem we don't often hear about.
It's something that's becoming more and more well understood, but it's still really early days. Our data at the moment is telling us that it looks like about 1 in 10 girls have had a problem affording sanitary wear at some point, which is really, really concerning.
And you say it's not understood that much. Is that because there is still a really big stigma in talking about these kind of areas when it comes to poverty?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you imagine how embarrassed people are in general talking about periods, about menstruation, and then you add on the fact that you would have to talk about not having enough money as well. What we found is that period poverty is that combination of not being able to afford the products, not having the education to understand what's happening with your body, and being embarrassed by the stigma and taboo that still in this day and age surrounds that issue.
So what would you like to see, and how would you like to see it happen? Presumably more councils following suit with what's being done in Rhondda Cynon Taf.
Absolutely, and this is so exciting that Wales is leading the way in a totally stigma and taboo-free, treating sanitary wear just like toilet paper, like hand soap in toilets. It's absolutely excellent. What we'd love to see now is that kind of approach combined with really high quality education for young people around how their bodies work, around reproductive health and understanding menstruation, and lots of news articles, lots of conversations that really tackle the stigma and taboo and say this is just a normal, healthy bodily function. Let's get talking about it.
Well, we've got the conversation going. Lucy Russell from Plan International, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Thank you.